Keylogger भी क्या है ना, it's also a malware. That means it's not generally designed with a good intention. इसका intention अच्छा नहीं है. So what basically it does is, uh, if you install this software, what will happen is it will be running in the background. Okay, and from the moment you, if anybody restarts, let's say कि तुम keylogger install करके रखे हो, and it will be such a software that it will not even show in add and remove program. उसको honest, it will be hidden. Only the person who has installed it will know how to open it. There will be some shortcut जिसको direct press करने से keylogger appears. Else there is no mechanism to search for it. वो तुमको सर्च में नहीं दिखाएगा. It will not show you under any files and folders. ठीक है, वो sort of hidden रहता है software. But the person who has installed it will know the shortcuts, और वो shortcut को press करेगा तो the interface of keylogger will appear. And what it does is, let's say you install a keylogger in a computer. Uh, and you leave it. Next time, or from that point onwards, whoever uses the computer, it will be saving whatever you are typing and whatever's on whichever website, his own shortcut. There is a way you can create your shortcut key, which combination of keys should you press to open the interface when you install the software. वो तुमको देगा option. Okay, from control alt p, control alt k, control shift k, ऐसा करके कुछ कुछ you can create your own combination of keys which will activate the keylogger and make it visible. Okay, else there is no mechanism to look for it, install it, uninstall it. It will be like hidden. Okay, so what it does is once you install it, from that point onwards, any person uh, does whatever activity, whichever user comes and uses your computer, does whatever activity, it will be logging it in the background. By logging I means it will be taking the snapshots, screenshots every 2 seconds, 3 seconds, with whatever text you are typing in password box, search box, whichever website you viewed, every detail which only you will be able to access. How? Let's say some people use for 2 days your computer, and then you come back and you activate the keylogger by pressing that combination of key. The interface appears, and then you can go to the history and look last 2 days, whichever people, what the user, whoever used your computer, what they use, which websites they visited, which websites they browsed, what all searches they made. If they are, even the softwares are so smart कि इंटरफेसेस पे तुमको ऐसा लिस्ट आ जाएगा कि जीमेल में the person visited gmail.com and user id the person provided was this and password was this. ठीक है, इस तरह करके ऑप्शंस आ जाते हैं. इवन इफ यू विजिट लेट्स से सिटी बैंक, मान लो वेबसाइट जाते हो अपने बैंकिंग इंटरनेट बैंकिंग पे, तो इफ यू गो टू सिटी बैंक का वेबसाइट पे तो citibank.com, तो वो आ जाएगा हिस्ट्री में कि द पर्सन विजिटेड citibank.com. इन दैट द पर्सन इन द फील्ड ऑफ यूजर id the person provided this thing, in the field of password the person provided this thing. Okay, and then whatever detail came up, so everything it will be logged in the background. Okay, so that's a very very dangerous piece of software. इसीलिए कहा जाता है कि you should be very careful when you are using somebody else's computer or a computer which is in the public place like cyber cafe and all. ठीक है, साइबर कैफे हो गया, पब्लिक एरिया में जो इंटरनेट यूज करने का होता है, रेलवे स्टेशन पे, इवन इन योर पब्लिक फ्री वाईफाई, उस तरह के नेटवर्क पे बी वेरी वेरी केयरफुल. ठीक है, इवन इफ यू आर यूजिंग योर, ट्राई टू इनेबल जीमेल में वो जो 2 स्टेप ऑथेंटिकेशन होता है वो हरदम इनेबल करके रखो, so that even if somebody comes to know this and this, some code will come, or for verification a notification will come on your mobile phone. तो वो सब बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो गया है. इफ यू डोंट डू इट और ये केयरलेसली इफ यू आर यूजिंग इट, देन वेरी मतलब प्रॉब्लम्स आ जाएंगे. योर डिटेल्स, फाइनेंशियल डिटेल्स, पर्सनल डिटेल्स में गेट कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड. ठीक है, तो इट्स अ पीस ऑफ मैलिशियस सॉफ्टवेयर है जो तुम्हारे डिटेल्स को, इंटरनेट एक्टिविटी को ट्रेस करता है, उसको लॉग करके इट सेव्स इट, एंड योर पर्सनल डिटेल्स वॉट एवर यू आर एंटरिंग गेट्स, credentials also get saved, card numbers if you enter, whatever you type from the keyboard, okay, everything will get saved. Even if you use your virtual keyboard भी, जो स्क्रीन पे की ऑन स्क्रीन कीबोर्ड, उससे भी तुम्हारा प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. Okay, उससे भी वो भी that it logs or catalogs or it stores or creates a backup for the entries made using online uh, on-screen keyboard as well. Okay, that is the reason if you visit many financial websites or बहुत सारे websites में जाओगे तो देखोगे कि for entering the username and password they provide you with what you say is online virtual keyboards. Okay, let's see if I can show you somewhere. Uh,
So if you go to the SBI thing, you'll get
bank, for example, let me see. I don't know, for some reason open नहीं हो रहा है. I think my internet is fine. आवाज आ रहा है ना मेरा? Can you all hear me properly?
Yes, sir.
Seems some problem with this only. Okay. We'll see. HDFC. Okay. चलो HDFC में ही देखते हैं. Let me try. Okay. Let's say कहीं login तो होना चाहिए. HDFC में personal. I'm not sure login का. हाँ यहाँ है. चलो. Let's say net banking. तो I'm pretty sure वो option देंगे. For some reason, these banking websites seem to be down. Okay. हाँ उसी का बता रहा हूँ कि what will happen. SBI. हाँ यहाँ पे it hopefully this will appear. Okay, let's say what happened. मेरा website मेरे इससे कंप्यूटर से कुछ खुल ही नहीं रहा है. I'm not sure what's going wrong. I'll try once more. For some reason, I'm not being allowed to access any of the websites. ठीक है चलो उस पे नहीं जाएंगे तो होगा क्या ना. I'll try once more. आना तो चाहिए. हाँ शायद आ रहा है. Yeah. Let's say I'll go to login. Let me see if I can show you that. वो बहुत अच्छा concept है. Actually, you should be aware about that. हाँ hopefully यहाँ से दिख जाएगा. तो when you are entering इसमें नहीं आ रहा है क्या? Let me see if यहाँ पे देखो. ये देखोगे ना तो यहाँ पे तुमको दे रहा है enter your password using standard keyboard or enter using your virtual keypad. तो you will press here to get all the ये what you say is your password जो भी होता है उसको enter करने के लिए उसको यूज कर सकते हो. ठीक है. So this will prevent you from keylogger. How? इसमें फंडा ये है कि there are two types of keyboards. If you are using not the actual keyboard, जो हार्डवेयर वाला नहीं आता है उसमें यूज करोगे तो there are generally two types of keyboards. कौन से दो तरह का कीबोर्ड होता है and how it protects you against keyloggers, you'll understand. ठीक है. So if I talk about keyboards, okay, so I'll rather make it three. One is physical, that you actually use hardware जो होता है. Okay, physical hardware which you can touch and feel. Second is on-screen keyboard. You can enable it on your PCs or your computers. And third is online virtual keyboard. ऑनलाइन वर्चुअल कीबोर्ड, ठीक है। तो what is the difference between these? So the default keyboard that you have on your computers, which you can activate, is your online on-screen keyboard. Okay, so it will be just like let me see if I can here open KY on-screen keyboard. ये देख रहे हो? Can you see on the screen? So
Yes, sir.
even if you use this, you will not be fully protected against keyloggers. Why? Because if you see the layout of keys matches exactly it matches your keyboard. So if you press Q here, it is just like pressing Q on the keyboard. So it's a normal proper QWERTY keyboard. ठीक है? QWERTY means QWERTY. The layout is fixed, just like normal keyboard. So even if you click here, keylogger will be able to successfully keylog it. That means save the entry that you make. So this is the on-screen keyboard. However, if you see, if you match it with the keyboard present here, okay, do you see some difference? Is it the normal QWERTY keyboard that you get, or there is some difference? इसमें तुमको बहुत सारा डिफरेंस दिख जाएगा इन टर्म्स ऑफ ओके अल्फाबेटिक जो अल्फाबेटिकल वो जो है कैरेक्टर्स हैं दे आर मे बी दे आर एज पर व्हाट यू हैव but other keys you will see are randomly placed, not as per what you generally find on your keyboards, normal conventional keyboards. And maybe every time you open the website, you will see that few keys will be randomly shifted. Okay, so these online virtual keyboards, how it escapes keylogger is every time when most of the people who are intelligently designing this or virtual keyboard, online virtual keyboards, every time you open that keyboard, the placement of keys will change. Okay, the placement of keys will change. So if you press Q, तो might be मान लो next time ये Q की जगह Z आ जाए, ठीक है, तो तुम हो सकता है Z प्रेस कर रहे हो पर दैट की लॉगर विल टेक इट एज क्यू, क्योंकि स्ट्रक्चरिंग सेम रखता है, इट कीप्स द स्ट्रक्चरिंग सेम, हाउएवर इट जंबल्स अप द कैरेक्टर्स, ओके, सो दैट the keylogger will fail to capture what exact details you are trying to enter. Okay, तो इस तरह की कुछ तुम्हारे ये होते हैं, हाउ इट दिस इज हाउ इट escapes or how it bypasses your this. So this is not secure, not secure, not secure. This is secure. How? Different layout every time you load. Every time you load that page, load the page. Page means web page for entering details. Okay. So this is how it bypasses it. So if you are using a computer which is accessing internet, which is you can say in public place, public internet, public Wi-Fi, internet, use this. If public Wi-Fi internet, ठीक है, कीबोर्ड से कुछ मत टाइप करो साइबर कैफे में, ये तो ट्राई टू ऑलवेज इफ यू आर गोइंग टू सम सोशल मीडिया वेबसाइट या कहीं पे जा रहे हो तो देयर आर सर्टेन प्रिकॉशंस यू शुड टेक. जनरली कीप टू स्टेप ऑथेंटिकेशन. इसके एडिशन में टू स्टेप ऑथेंटिकेशन you might have seen in Gmail and all. Two step authentication. Okay. तो ये दोनों if you are careful with at public Wi-Fi internet पे, तो if you use these two, that is your online virtual keyboard, okay, plus this two-step authentication, you can somewhat be safe from getting your data compromised, credentials or data compromised. ठीक है. So keylogger का I'll just repeat in one more line. It's a malicious software with the intention of logging your details that you enter when you are browsing internet or whatever you are typing. It will be creating in the background, cataloging whatever you will be entering in the background, which may compromise your personal details, your credentials, social media credentials, your internet banking ID, password, even your credit card, debit card numbers that you enter while purchasing something. So be very careful. How you can avoid it? By using online virtual keyboards. Okay. Because, and how you can avoid that? Because online virtual keyboards have different layout than your conventional keyboards, and every time, most of the time, it is designed in such a way that next time you will load the same keyboard, orientation or the keys, ordering of keys will change. That is, it gets scrambled up or jumbled up every time you load that web page having that virtual ऑनलाइन वर्चुअल कीबोर्ड. ठीक है. सो की लॉगर के कंसेप्ट समझ में आया? इज इट
Yes, sir.
क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
ओके. सी आई एम नॉट सीइंग दिस, क्या कहते हैं, चैट्स. तो बता देना अगर कुछ वहां पे कोई टाइप कर रहे हो तो. ओके.
Sir, Alvin is asking if keylogger is already installed in a new PC, how would we activate or know about it?
दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि ठीक है, पर्सनल तो अगर कुछ सॉन्ग मूवी प्ले कर रहे हो तो देखने दो ना, क्या दिक्कत है. हाँ, बट यू शुड बी मोर केयरफुल कि जब सोशल मीडिया वेबसाइट ये सब दे रहे हो, प्लेटफॉर्म में जा रहे हो, ऑनलाइन यू आर एक्सेसिंग समथिंग, देन दैट्स व्हाट आई सेड.
Sir, he's asking how to access it, sir.
You cannot access it generally. The people who have installed it will be able to access it. And these days, in fact, good antivirus software also detects them. ठीक है. तो वही है कि नेक्स्ट स्टेप हम लोग देखेंगे. दिस इज वेयर वी एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द डिस्कशन ऑफ द malware. वन स्मॉल इज देयर रूट किट, उसको भी देख लेते हैं, दो नॉट मेंशन इन योर बुक, बट इट्स अ थिंग दैट यू शुड नो. ओके. तो एंटीवायरस सॉफ्टवेयर्स, एंटी malwares, वो सब भी you can have them installed, so they can also detect keyloggers. Okay. So next is rootkit. Okay, these are malware similar to spyware. ठीक है. But how they differ? But differ in sense that they will attack your system bypass its security, security means firewall. When I'm saying security, I'm meaning firewall or anti-malware or antivirus software. And यहां तक सेम होता है. This behavior till this point, it works similar to spyware. However, from this point onwards, how it will differ is it will uh, उसके बाद spyware, what it will do is it will make copies of the files and very important sensitive information. It will steal it and will send it to the virus author or the malware author जो उसको डिजाइन किया है. Okay. However, at this point, once it compromises, it successfully bypasses the system. Okay. And it will then give control of your system to the external entity. Okay, so let's say in case of spywares, that software itself will decide and randomly copy some data from your system and will pass to the external entity. However, it does nothing. It simply bypasses the system, gets control of your system, okay, without your knowledge or system. You can write without users knowledge, knowledge or consent. Without your knowledge or consent, that software will bypass your security, will get hold of your computer system, and will give a remote access of your system to the external party, external entity. Okay, that means that software will not steal or copy anything. It will allow some external outside entity or a person to enter your system, and then it will simply sit quiet. ठीक है, तो बस इसका काम होता है to open this your system and give your access to your system to the external entity, and that entity, as per his or her own choice, will cause some harm, may steal data, may block your own access to the computer, to your own computer. Okay, तो इस तरह की चीज उसी से मतलब कि इट अलाउज सॉर्ट ऑफ हैकिंग. ओके, सो यू कैन से it's a tool for hackers. Hackers means, when I say hacker, I mean people who get control over or access to your system, access to your system. When I'm system means computer system, without your knowledge and consent. These are the hackers. Okay, so hackers क्या करते हैं? They will release one rootkit. Generally, this is how their MO works, modus operandi. They will release one rootkit. That rootkit will allow them to get control over your system. And once they get control over your system will be said to be hacked. You will say that your system got hacked. ठीक है, तो hacking means it's an act of getting control over someone or access to someone else's computer system or digital device or a network without the person's knowledge or consent, without the user's knowledge or consent, who is the owner of that system, network or computer or digital device. ठीक है, to your system or your network or digital devices or resources. Resources means printers or etc. Do printers get hacked? Can you hack printers? Printer which is connected to a network.
Maybe, sir.
How? What can you do with the printer? I have seen this happening, you know. When I was working with my company earlier, वहाँ पे क्या हुआ था ना, सम इसी तरह का कुछ रूटकिट का या किसी का अटैक हुआ था. तो नॉट ओनली माय ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, इन दैट एरिया, इन दैट यू कैन से SEZ होता है. तो उस SEZ में, दैट इज एरिया, मेनी ऑफिसेज वर देयर.
Socially
तो उस
economic zones.
हाँ,
Socially economic zones.
सोशली इकोनॉमिक जोन नहीं होता है वो, शायद होता है स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक जोन, ऐसा कुछ होता है. ओके, तो उसमें क्या होता है कि मेनी ऑफिसेज का जो मेनी फ्लोर्स पे जो प्रिंटर्स थे, दे स्टार्टेड प्रिंटिंग रैंडम टेक्स्ट. ठीक है, वो प्रिंट निकलने लगा, फिर कुछ ऑब्सीन, ऑफेंसिव, इस तरह के टेक्स्ट. ठीक है, एंटी इंडिया, ऐसा कुछ कुछ आने लगा था. ठीक है, तो ये टूल किट का काम क्या होता है? इट विल अलाउ entry of external entity and allow it to get hold over your system. How can
Sir,
you
so
protect?
basically it creates a backdoor.
Backdoor, exactly. It's a sort of backdoor entry, provides or facilitates a backdoor entry. dates. You can define it that way. A backdoor entry to your system. Okay, to your system by a system for external entity. External entity को ही hackers बोलते हैं because once they get hold of your computer or your resources, you will say that your network system computer got hacked. You know what is one fun fact about this? Okay, these hackers in 80s, early 80s and 90s, I might have told you. Okay, these hacker initially this term hacker was a very prestigious one. So early 80s and 90s when networking and everything started getting this coming up and things in computer domain started evolving. Okay, digital technology में थोड़ा revolution आ रहे थे. So these people were looked upon like very they were very revered person. Okay, they were given a lot of respect. They were held very high in the eyes of, you can say, people in the corporate industry. But what happened? क्यों? क्योंकि they were the people. Hacker was the term initially given to a person who is expert in managing the network and the websites. ठीक है, initially early 80s 90s में ऐसा होता था कि the people who was professional and expert to manage your web infra, your network infra, उन लोगों को hacker कहते थे. Okay, but what happened is कि initially उसमें क्या हो गया, they were paid very highly, मतलब बहुत ज्यादा पेमेंट थे उनके. So let's say common people who developed such skill and expertise, they were hired by organizations of repute, and they were paid very handsome salaries. So all of a sudden, though normal common people थे, they started becoming millionaires उस समय के. ठीक है? So later they realized कि let's say कि a normal college student learned in that early 80s and 90s computers and became expert. And then उससे पहले क्या होगा? Let's say कि in foreign में मान लो $50 वो per month उसका expenses था. ठीक है? And maybe the parents were sending $50 उसमें वो they used to manage their month, entire month. In let's say in 80s 90s in US. But हुआ क्या, when they passed the college and they became expert in by studying themselves and exploring about the early evolving computers and managing networks, early networks, there were very few such people. Okay, so their demand grew and shot up like anything. और ये लोग जो $50 में अपना month manage करते थे, they started getting salary सीधा $5,000 मिलने लगा उन लोगों को. ठीक है, so it was like from rags to riches. मतलब वो एक दिन पहले one day before their appointment they were on any other normal people, and next day they started purchasing Ferrari, Audi, वो सब पे घूमने लगे. तो हुआ क्या, initially they enjoyed. Okay, initially they enjoyed their
Sir,
work.
did this actually happen?
हाँ, it actually happened. Okay, so initially वो लोग बहुत enjoy करते थे अपना काम कि चलो we are getting very good salaries and all. But हुआ क्या कि this 5,000 after 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month, after 1 year, this 5,000 became just like 1 year back it was $50 for them. और वो लोग ये सोचते थे कि entire organization we are managing. ठीक है, so let's say that organization every year spends $1 million in their business, and we are the people who manage the digital system and all the computers and networks and all the record keeping. Is 1 million में से if we siphon off, okay, if we siphon off extra 2,000 or $5,000, who will come to know? Okay, तो फिर उन लोगों में लालच बढ़ने लगा. And then they started doing these activities कि why 5,000? ठीक है, 5,000 is okay, $60,000 per year is all right. I can earn maybe 2-3 times just like that because I am managing it. और हर छोटा छोटा जो इसमें कंट्रोल में और कैलकुलेशंस में I'll do manipulations. Okay, and that will be easy money for me and nobody will come to know because everybody trusted the computers like blindly like God. तो ये वो लोग काम करना शुरू किए. And then over next few decades they मतलब they became famous rather infamous. ठीक है, for these things when it came out in the open in public. तो फिर वो लोग ये टर्म्स को बहुत नेगेटिव लाइट में पोर्ट्रे करने लगा गया ये, ठीक है। सो ये इसका हिस्ट्री है, एंड देन ऑल ऑफ अ सडन, मतलब ऑल ऑफ अ सडन नहीं, ग्रेजुअली पीपल स्टॉप्ड यूजिंग दिस वर्ड इन द पॉजिटिव सेंस, और ये फिर नेगेटिव लाइट में आ गया कि द पर्सन हु विल कॉज डैमेज, गेट योर फाइनेंशियल डिटेल्स फॉर देयर ओन बेनिफिट मोटिव और प्रॉफिट मोटिव। तो इसलिए फिर ये हैकर्स अब पॉजिटिव टर्म में यूज नहीं होता है, ओके, ठीक है, नॉट रेलेवेंट बट इट्स ओके, राइट। राइट, तो दिस वाज अबाउट रूट किट। इसमें हम लोग हैकर्स का भी डेफिनेशन देखे, ओके। नाउ वी हैव कंप्लीटेड आर till page number 239, we have completed from your in your PDF class 12 ka. Okay, completed till page 239 of PDF. Right, तो अभी तक हम लोग क्या देख रहे थे? We saw what are malwares and what are the different types of malwares and how are they categorized based on their MO, modus operandi, or how they operate and how they spread from one computer to another. ठीक है, so और हम लोग अब इस मिसकंसेप्शन से भी बाहर आ गए हैं. वी हैव कम आउट ऑफ द मिसकंसेप्शन दैट ऑल soft piece of software that cause damage or harm are viruses. No, ठीक है, virus may be a very prevalent terms, a very commonly or rather generously used term, but being computer science students and maybe future computer engineers and computer scientists, okay, and professionals, you should now be aware of the differences. Okay, right. ठीक है, तो we have seen all the different types of classifications. Clear? Shall we proceed? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we'll see one topic is given. Modes of malware distribution. How they all the different types of this malware generally get distributed in the society and in networks, over the networks. I'll just write the headings. That is self-explanatory. How they get distributed. Each one of them. Generally, these are some of the general ones. They get distributed or they enter your system by downloaded or gets downloaded from internet. Okay. Second is spam email. What is spam?
So unwanted emails, which is mostly related to a search.
हाँ, मतलब जो हमें चाहिए नहीं वो कोई बॉम्बार्ड कर रहा है. Okay. So these are unwanted. A more technical term that you will see is unsolicited. Unsolicited मतलब भी वही होता है. Okay, कि you don't intend to get it and you don't want it, but still it will come. Messages, emails, ठीक है, sent in bulk to bulk over internet. ठीक है, देखो मैं क्यों ये सब टर्म्स बता देता हूं तुम लोगों को. इफ फ्रॉम दिस अर्ली स्टेज इफ यू स्टार्ट यूजिंग दीज टर्म्स ना, मतलब अब कोई मान लो इंटरव्यू में क्वेश्चन पूछता है व्हाट इज स्पैम, अ पर्सन सेज अनवांटेड एंड यू से अनसॉलिसिटेड, ओके, तो मतलब it will give you an edge. The people who are sitting in the panel, they will say कि okay, हाँ, मतलब ये तो ठीक है, टेक्निकली भी करेक्ट है, एंड ही इज वेल प्रेजेंटेबल. ओके, सो आज से ही मतलब इसलिए आई राइट दीज टर्म्स, दो इस पे भी मार्क्स मिल जाएगा तुम्हें, It's not about marks. Marks के लिए हम लोग कुछ नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं. ठीक है. I have already said कि I'm happy with you getting 95, but making big in the industry later on. ठीक है. तो marks के पीछे मत भागो, concept के पीछे. Run after the concepts. Okay. है ना. तो ये second way was for
It will
first is
image,
हाँ.
sir.
Sorry.
It will give us an image.
Yeah, मतलब ये तुम्हारे देखो, not only image, you should not do always something for the outside world. You should do certain things for your own selves. Okay, so it will be contributing to your you say interpersonal skills, soft skills, your personality. ठीक है, X factor increase करेगा. तो those that's why not only in our subject, in my subject, but also in other subjects, you should have keen interest in literature. ठीक है. So if you do not have, if you cannot express yourself, if you cannot present yourself boldly with confidence, तो दिक्कत है. Okay. Then removable storage devices. Okay. And network propagation. Okay. That means network propagation means gets into one computer, any one computer or device, digital device.
And it gets access to the computer's network.
हाँ, correct. Digital device and तो कैसे इंटर करेगा? In one computer it may enter through one of the above ways. Okay. And then spreads. And then spreads. And then spreads to others in the network. Okay. So these are the few ways कि इस तरह से generally all different types of malware spread. Can you tell me कि which will be the most commonly type of malware which will be spreading this way in network propagation? Which of the malware has the capability to spread without external trigger and self-replicate?
Worms.
The worms.
Worms. Very good. ठीक है. तो generally worms क्योंकि वो independently exist कर सकता है, on its own it will spread. ठीक है. Doesn't need triggers and all. तो worms. It's not that only worms, but most of the cases में yes, generally worms ही होता है. ठीक है. तो these were some of the ways. Now अब हम लोग ये देख लिए कि what are the malwares, what are the different types, what are the different ways in which they get distributed. Now next slide we will see. अब तो प्रॉब्लम देख रहे थे, अब सॉल्यूशन की तरफ है. Okay, so combating malware. Next topic is.
Sir, just a second. Can I go to the previous slide?
Okay. So this topic is last for today. Combating. Done. Okay. Ilam 10 minutes. So under combating malware, so you have ठीक है, you have certain topics जिसमें मैं दो टॉपिक नहीं पढ़ाऊंगा. उसका रीजन क्या है? You can write on your own. You can एक बार पढ़ लोगे तो लिख दोगे. So book में just read up that page. Okay. So first topic under this is signs of malware infection. 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 Can you tell me without any knowledge?
So there weird ads start coming up as
Okay,
pop-ups on
that can
screen.
be pop-ups अपने आप आने लगे, ads आने लगे. That is one of the sign, correct?
Then the main screen of the
My screen
computer.
get filled up.
हाँ, मेन स्क्रीन कंप्यूटर पे मान लो फ्रीज कर जाए या तुम्हारा डेस्कटॉप बैकग्राउंड चेंज हो जाए, तो सच थिंग्स. ओके, ईमेल्स इफ यू आर स्टार्ट गेटिंग इन मास, तुम्हारे ईमेल से दूसरे को, इफ यू ईमेल सम अदर पीपल रिसीव ईमेल्स व्हिच यू हैव नॉट सेंट फ्रॉम योर ईमेल अकाउंट्स. ओके, lagging of screen, in better words, Arpit, if I project it, your computer becomes slow. ठीक है, प्रोग्राम्स ऑल ऑफ अ सडन क्लोजेस ओपन्स ऑटोमेटिकली. ठीक है, तो वो सारे चीज हो जाते हैं. फिर देन स्टोरेज स्पेस अपने आप कम होने लगता है, स्पेस स्टार्ट्स डिक्रीजिंग, रैंडम मैसेजेस स्टार्ट्स अप, रैंडम नोटिफिकेशन स्टार्ट शोइंग. ओके, some music sounds will start coming, programs or files may appear without your knowledge. हाँ, नहीं, हीटिंग अप तो नॉर्मल से भी हो सकता है, कुछ हैवी प्रोसेस खोल दिए हो तो. बट यस, इफ योर कंप्यूटर बिकम स्लो इट गेट्स हीटेड अप, मोर प्रोसेसिंग विल बी रिक्वायर्ड, राइट. तो दीज आर द थिंग्स, ये तुम लोगों को खुद से देख लेना है ऑन योर ओन. दो वी हैव सेड, वैसे भी
Sir,
देख सकते
and
हो.
unwanted opening of other programs.
हाँ, अनवांटेड ओपनिंग है, नॉट ओनली ओपनिंग, इवन क्लोजिंग. डू इट योरसेल्फ. ओके, ओके, इसका एक्रोनिम भी है ना, व्हाट इज इट? जनरली प्रोजेक्ट्स के टर्म्स में यूज करते हैं, DIY.
DIY.
Okay, and then uh, some preventive measures. Okay, some preventive measures. कुछ preventive measures बताओ. Again, it is DIY for you.
Frequent security checks.
हाँ, क्या कर सकते हैं? You can have antiviruses, anti-malwares, and other related
Installing a
software.
strong firewall.
हाँ,
Installing a strong firewall.
हाँ, installing strong firewalls, not visiting your some websites which you are not too sure about, not installing certain. हाँ, scan the peripheral devices, वो antivirus में ही आ जाएगा, anti malwares में. And then don't share your ID, passwords, credentials. Okay, so इस तरह की चीज है. Taking a regular backup of your important data, very important. नहीं, चार्जर से नहीं होगा अर्पित. चार्जर won't cause anything. See, in
And be
order for,
careful while doing transactions.
हाँ, वो नहीं, मैं उसका चार्जर का रिप्लाई कर रहा हूँ. सी, एनीथिंग विल नॉट स्प्रेड वायरस. वायरस इज ऑल्सो अ प्रोग्राम एंड नीड्स स्टोरेज. So any device or any electrical gadget which is not having storage will not be able to spread virus. Okay, तो अब वो तो डेड एंटिटी है ना, वो सम वायर्स है कुछ अंदर में, वो ट्रांसफार्मर सर्किट्स उस तरह का कुछ होगा चार्जर्स में, तो स्टोरेज नहीं है तो उसमें प्रोग्राम कहाँ सेव होगा. ओके, तो viruses are also programmed, they need storage to get saved. Okay, configure your browser settings. Okay, and even entering sensitive data on unknown, मतलब कि वाईफाई जब पब्लिक प्लेसेस में यूज कर रहे हो एंड यू आर नॉट यूजिंग योर ओन कंप्यूटर, यू शुड बी वेरी केयरफुल. ठीक है, पासवर्ड्स एंड पिन्स अननोन कंप्यूटर्स पे बहुत केयरफुली यूज करना चाहिए. नेवर शेयर योर ऑनलाइन अकाउंट बैंकिंग डिटेल्स. रिमूव ऑल प्रोग्राम्स दैट यू डोंट रिकॉग्नाइज फ्रॉम योर सिस्टम. ठीक है, कभी भी कोई प्रोग्राम दिखे जो सिस्टम में नहीं है, यू डोंट नो, देन रिमूव इट. तो उस तरह की चीजें हैं. Okay, avoid clicking on links on downloading attachments from unsolicited emails. Using virtual keyboard, everything. Not only these. This list is not exhaustive. What I mean is, these are not the only ways of preventions. You can write your own. As long as it makes sense, it will be acceptable totally. Okay. तो ये चीज खुद से देख लेना. So these things are given on page 241. See, when I say 241 of PDF, that means it will be different from the page number written on your book, because initially में वो some indices होता है, preface होता है, things like that. तो उसमें few 5-10 pages are additional. So therefore this I am telling you of the PDF का page number and not of the book. Book में तो शायद page number 229 दिया हुआ है. हाँ, approx 12 pages are extra, correct. So book का I think it's book page number 229. So whenever I say PDF का page, that means your PDF का, वो book का नहीं. Book page 229. Okay, so till this point we have seen. तुम लोगों का task है कि इसको यहाँ तक पढ़ लेना. It's something that you should be aware as an as a part of this ethical learning. Okay, digital ethical learning, and try to imbibe it. ठीक है? You don't have to be mere software engineers. ठीक है? You have to be something like sui generis. Sui generis का मतलब जानते हो?
What's that?
You don't merely have to be software engineers. You have to be पढ़ा करो ताकि अच्छा ऐसे लिख सको, अच्छे प्रेजेंट कर सको. Okay.
Is this some French term, sir?
It's not French, it's Latin, which means class on your own. A class in your own.
Unique.
Unique नहीं. Classically unique. Unique is
Like
everyone.
different from others.
Different from others in a special way. ठीक है? You are a class in your own. ठीक है? So I can say कि कोई भी प्लेयर को बोल सकते हो पर्सनालिटी यू एडमायर, ही इज अ sui generis, मतलब ही इज अ क्लास एक्ट इन हिज ओन. ठीक है? तो यू हैव टू बी दैट स्पेशल. ठीक है? तो नॉर्मल सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर से काम नहीं चलेगा. ठीक, इट शुड फ्लो थ्रू योर वेन्स. ठीक है, विल स्टॉप हियर. ओके, नहीं तो आज he'll be all guns blazing. क्या नाम है इल्हम का? ओके, राइट. So इसके आगे maybe 1 or 2 classes में it will get over.